in. See how the edges are getting a little dark since I moved away, and yeah, it got a little dark underneath. Once I even that out, we'll be looking pretty close to blonde here. That's about the color it was when we started, right there. So we're at about blonde right now. Just having me walk away for that minute, it really kind of browned underneath. Once I stirred it, it kind of evened it out, and we're looking like a pretty nice blonde color here. You can see kind of a little difference there, okay? A little bit lighter color there. I don't think I need that pan anymore. We'll hang on to that. Now I'm going to get rid of this over here. Super hot, okay? I am going to recycle this a bit. So I've got 2 roux sitting there, and what I want to do is I'm going to start making a bechamel, just flavoring my milk first, okay? And I kind of mentioned this last week when we were talking about stocks, okay? I mentioned an onion with a bay leaf and a little clove to stick the bay leaf to it, and it had a name. Does anybody remember me talking about that? It's called an onion piqué, right? And so basically what it is, it's just, I'm just making a small amount. Usually, you know, the classic is like a whole onion, but I just cut it in half. And I'm gonna put my cloves into that solid side, not into the cut side, because I might lose a little traction there, right? So I got it face down. I'll pull out maybe a bay leaf or 2. And I'm gonna do about 3 or 4 of these little cloves here. And I'm just going to attach, affix, whatever you wanna call it, this bay leaf, these bay leaves to that onion. And that way, the onion's gonna flavor my milk, the bay leaf will flavor it, I'll get a little clove flavor in there. It's all very much in the background. I'll do 4 cloves today. I just kind of knock off that excess. Those guys over there. Let me set this back on my little mise en place tray. And I've got a lot of clove dust on there. I'm gonna kind of tap that so it's clean. And I'm gonna just start heating up some milk for this bechamel sauce, okay? So a little bit of milk. I'm probably doing about 3 cups here. A little bit of milk. I'm gonna put that onion piqué in there. Notice I put the bay leaf in the bottom, right, so it's in contact with the milk. And I'm gonna kick on a burner. I think I'll do this one right here. And I'm just gonna start bringing that up to temperature. And while that's coming up to temperature, I'm gonna make a veloute real quick, okay? Now I've got my veloute over here. And my roux is, you know, ideally this would be cooled off a little bit because I'm working with, actually that's a hot roux, isn't it? I've got a cold liquid here, so I'm gonna be working with a hot roux here. So I've got this hot roux, and I'm actually going to, rinse this guy off, and I'm going to go ahead and start incorporating this roux into my veloute sauce while we kind of bring that other milk up. You're gonna see me incorporate roux twice here. Now, one of the things that you're gonna see me do is when I do this, I'm gonna basically have the roux in the pot, and you're gonna see me incorporate the liquid in stages. Remember me talking about that? It was on the slideshow just a little while ago. We incorporate liquid in stages so we can kind of get the right amount, but also this allows us to come out with a pretty lump-free sauce. We'll get a little more of that. So what's going on here is, if I'm gonna draw another picture here, if I've got a pot of liquid, okay, and the liquid's all the way up here, and I drop some roux in it, okay? I add roux to it or whatever. I got a small amount of roux. That roux's way down here, and to smooth this piece of roux out, it's pretty heavy, you know, you guys see the stuff. I gotta chase it around all of this volume, right? But if I start out with a small amount of liquid, like about that much, it's really easy to smooth that out with a whisk, right? And then I add a little more, and I smooth that out, and I add the rest of it, and it all gets nice and smooth, right? But if I try and do all of this liquid in one piece of roux, I'm gonna have little roux balls in there that I never get to, okay? So we always incorporate those liquids in stages like that, and you're about to see me doing that right now. So I've got some roux in the pot, and I've got a cold liquid here, okay? Now, you just saw me using a wooden spoon so I wouldn't kind of scrape metal on metal, but when I'm incorporating when I'm incorporating liquid and roux together, that's when I break out the whisk, I get it smooth, then I get rid of the whisk and go back to that spoon, okay? That's what you're gonna see me do. Now, I kind of turn this flame down when I incorporate the liquid, and I'm just incorporating about 1/3 worth of this pot right here. just a little bit, and I want to do this off the heat, right? If I'm cooking the roux and the liquid at the same time, it might start lumping up. I want to get this smooth first. So I get in there, I get in the corners, I tilt my pot, I look in there, you guys see that in the bottom, right? It's not quite stirred in. You see that in the bottom, right? So I want to kind of get in there, make sure I get it all smoothed out. And once I do, I turn on the heat. Having a hard time getting in those corners. I'm going to try this heat again. Just to kind of loosen things up, and then I go back to my whisk for a sec. I just need to get stuff off the bottom. There's still a little more down there.
So this is why we won't have any lumps.
This is why what?
You won't get any lumps.
This is how we avoid lumps, right here. The small amounts of liquid. Okay, so now that it's smooth, I'm going to turn on the heat. Remember a little while ago I was saying, I don't know how thick this is until I get it to a boil, right? So I'm going to start getting this up. And when it starts getting pretty hot, you're going to see this get pretty thick, and I'm going to go ahead and add my second part. I don't really need to get it all the way to a